What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, bigboyfactsjonny. Tonight I'm gonna do my elimination chamber preview and predictions. So you guys to do, hit that like button, tap that notification, and subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content. And let's get started. Now, it says WWE Elimination Chamber 2021 is scheduled for February 21st, 2021, inside WWE Thunderdome at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Follow along here for spoiler and information on the event cards, lineup of matches, and news regarding to the pay-per-view. Alright, it says the following are my predictions for the 2021 WWE Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Come back for Elimination Chamber 2021 results and review coverage here when the time comes. Alright, let me get started. So we got WWE Elimination Chamber match. Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy versus Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton versus Sheamus. Now, we saw last night that Sheamus pinned the WWE champion Drew McIntyre. Now, that gauntlet match last night was good. I must say it was a good match. But anyway, this Elimination Chamber match, I'm just going to call for what it is. That's just my own personal opinion. Hope you guys respect it. So, you got Drew McIntyre, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Sheamus, AJ Styles, and Kofi Kingston. Alright, so Mustafa Ali got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Then Kofi Kingston ended up being inside the Elimination Chamber. So, in my own personal opinion, I'm predicting this and I'm calling down the middle. You got to have Sheamus win the WWE Championship. Or I could be wrong. On this by saying Drew McIntyre might retain the WWE Champion. But you saw last night, Sheamus pinned the WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre. So in my predictions, I'm going to have to go with Sheamus to become the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber. That's just my own opinion, but I could be wrong, like I stated earlier. So I'm just have to go with Sheamus to become your new WWE Championship, even though I'm wrong, by the way. Or I could be right. You know, it is what it is. I'm just predicting Sheamus. But anyway, it says not too shocked about this one in general happening, but I'm a little surprised Jeff is in the mix. I have thought Braun Strowman would be in there instead, or Keith Lee or Matt Riddle. I was also surprised about the switch by replacing the Miz and Kofi Kingston. Was that planned all along, just to do servers for the sakes of servers? Or more likely, did WWE just go with the Miz and then realize over the course of the next few days how it make no sense why he want to fight in the cage match despite being Mr. Money in the Bank, and then decides to provoke? Alright, it says I really hate to keep saying the same things over and over, but the same thing remains true. If creator would just sit down for 5 minutes and think about the future, so many problems will be avoided. Anyway, Drew McIntyre retains, unless they want to do something convoluted nonsense of Sheamus winning, so that makes their feud more important, or they want to make the awful mistake by having Orton versus Bray Wyatt not only again at WrestleMania, you know what I'm saying, which I hate also, but also for the title again. Alright, so I got Drew McIntyre retain the WWE Champion. So that is my, Sheamus could win either or. It's down to Sheamus or Drew McIntyre. But I already predicted and I stated that Sheamus is going to walk out at Elimination Chamber with the new WWE Champion. But I'm just going to have to just, it is what it is. Just pick, you know what I'm saying? That's just my pick. I'm going to stick with it. Sheamus walking out the Elimination Chamber with the WWE Championship. Alright, let's move on. So you got the Raw Women's Champion, Asuka versus Lacey Evans. All I'm saying is this. I'm predicting and I'm calling it straight down the middle. I'm picking Asuka to retain the WWE Raw Women's Champion. Because if you have Lacey Evans as Raw Women's Champion, it's going to be god-awful. You know what I'm saying? I rather, in my own personal opinion, I rather replace Lacey Evans for Alexa Bliss in this card right here, in this match card. But they didn't do it, so they got Asuka versus Lacey Evans. I don't want to see Lacey Evans walking out Elimination Chamber as WWE Raw Women's Champion, because I'm afraid that Lacey Evans is going to be your WWE Raw Women's Champion. I do not want that to happen. But I'm just saying this: Asuka needs to retain the Raw Women's Championship until Asuka battles Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Champion. That's just my own personal opinion. So I'm calling it straight down the middle, that Asuka is going to retain the Raw Women's Championship at the Elimination Chamber. That's all I got to say. Alright, why is the biggest feud on Raw revolving more around Charlotte Flair than the champion? More and more I'm thinking WWE is trying to kill time and doesn't want to have Rhea Ripley involved in the title hunt for whatever reason. Thinks it's best to go back to do Asuka again against Charlotte Flair, with Flair winning again at WrestleMania. I don't care about that happening at Mania, and would rather it just happen ahead of time. How about you? Do you want all of this to be 2 more months building up to Charlotte Flair beating Asuka, or do you want something else to happen at WrestleMania? In my own opinion, I'd rather have something else to happen. Give us Asuka versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Champion. Put the Raw Women's Championship around Alexa Bliss. That's all I gotta say. That's just my own personal opinion. And then for the WWE Champion, put the WWE Championship around the Fiend. That's just my opinion. That's all I gotta say. It says update. So Lacey Evans is pregnant. For real, I guess this match isn't happening. If WWE is very, very lame about this, they replace her with Peyton Royce, which we got off of, by the way. Just make it a throwaway contest that they purposely don't mention until doing these events or right before, trying to keep it a mystery of who will replace Lacey Evans, in an attempt to get fans to tune in just to find out what they doing, only to be disappointed. And that's not a swipe at Royce, but she just has no momentum and absolutely would not by any circumstance win the title. But the best case scenario, WWE just get to the logic next step of what they would have likely done anyway, and they have Flair fight Asuka and win the title. Okay, let's move on. Predictions. It depends entirely on what they replace this match with. Anyway, let me move on. The United States Championship Triple Threat match: Bobby Lashley versus Keith Lee versus Matt Riddle. Now this one's a little bit tough. I don't want to see Bobby Lashley lose to Matt Riddle or Keith Lee. In my opinion, is this: it could be Matt Riddle or Keith Lee. I would have put the championship around Keith Lee. That's just my opinion. I'm just predicting it. I'm calling it straight down the middle, that Keith Lee will become will walk out of Elimination Chamber as your new United States Champion. That's all I gotta say. But anyway, curious why they're going in this direction this early. I figured they saved Lee against Lashley for WrestleMania. It really just don't know what WWE has in store for these next few months. I guess here's hoping there is an actual plan instead of just a scenario where they doing these matches ahead of time and plan on repeating the formula over and over throughout February, March, and April. So I still feel like Lee winning the United States Champion makes sense. It does make sense. So that's just my prediction. I'm just predicting and calling this straight down the middle, that Keith Lee is gonna walk out United States Championship by Elimination Chamber. But anyway, it don't think that happens here. Lashley probably retains by use of making Riddle tap out or something. So now the update, now they acting like Keith Lee might not even be in the match. That obviously change things. It's hard and predict a match when you don't know if the match is even the match that will happen. So predictions: Bobby Lashley retains. Okay, in my prediction, I'm calling it straight down the middle, that Keith Lee's gonna walk out of here walk out of Elimination Chamber with the United States Championship. That's all I gotta say. So the Universal Championship #1 contenders match: Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens versus King Corbin versus Jey Uso versus Sami Zayn. Now I'm calling it straight down the middle. I'm going to have to pick Cesaro to become the #1 contender for the Universal Championship at Elimination Chamber. That's just my opinion. So I'm just gonna say this: my predictions. I'm hearing more towards Daniel Bryan, but I would really like to see Cesaro win this, if not just for something different. I'm calling it straight down the middle. Cesaro's gonna become the #1 contender at the Elimination Chamber. That's just my opinion. Now we get the Universal Championship match: Roman Reigns versus TBW. Winner of the Elimination Chamber match. Easy. No matter who wins, Reigns retains. That's what this is all built around, and we all know Reigns isn't dropping that title to WrestleMania. I do like the idea that Reigns is being about this and booking himself into a lucky scenario through this. That's great character work. My prediction is Roman Reigns is going to retain the Universal title. So you're going to have Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship. I'm calling it straight down the middle. Roman Reigns is retaining the Universal Championship. That's all I got to say. And that's my only opinion. That's just my opinion. So if you guys enjoyed my Elimination Chamber preview and predictions, please drop a like on this video, subscribe to my channel. I'll leave my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok down below in the description. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on my WWE NXT review and highlights. Big Boy Facts Johnny. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night. Stay safe and stay strong. And I'm out of here.